When the Montreal Canadiens won their 23rd Stanley Cup in 1986, it was the most unlikely championship for the NHL's most storied franchise. But if we knew what we know now about their 20-year-old goaltender, the cup run wouldn't have been such a surprise. Patrick Roy was a self-described scared rookie, 1 year removed from what had appeared a mediocre Quebec Junior League career that made him an unlikely to succeed third-round draft pick in 1984. Today, Roy is deemed the greatest playoff goalie of all time. He won an unprecedented 3 Conn Smythe trophies while leading his teams to 4 Stanley Cups. Talent and consistency sustained him through 18 seasons, but passion and competitiveness elevated him in the playoffs. He was the ultimate money goalie, his clutch play epitomized by his uncanny dominance of playoff overtime. All of that's enough to debate whether he's the best goalie ever, but the more important debate is whether he's the most influential of all time. By revolutionizing his position, he changed the way the game's played. His legacy will dominate hockey long after his 2003 retirement. Bursting on the scene when goalies played the traditional stand-up style, he introduced the butterfly to the NHL, dropping to his knees with legs splayed to stop low shots. With that surprising 1986 Cup run, he sparked the butterfly's quick acceptance as the modern standard. He remained an innovator, refining the technique and perfecting it into an art form of its own. It's hard to imagine that the Habs once tried to get him to abandon the butterfly. Canadiens legend Jacques Plante advised Roy to change his trademark style in order to make the NHL, telling him he'd never make it by leaving his feet so often. Fortunately, the Habs didn't give up on him. Instead, they gave him the starting spot as a rookie in 1985-86, a rebuilding season sure to extend their 6-year Stanley Cup drought. After posting a respectable 23-18-5 record to lead the rookie-laden Habs into the playoffs, he caught fire. He carried them past the Bruins in a sweep, the Whalers in a 7th game overtime, and the Rangers in 5. In the finals, he rebounded from an opening loss to upset the Flames in 5 games to win the Stanley Cup. His 15-5 record and 1.92 goals against average made him the youngest Conn Smythe winner in NHL history. Carrying the Habs to the Cup again in 1993, St. Patrick turned in the greatest performance of his career and earned playoff MVP honors for the 2nd time. He went 16-4 through those playoffs, putting together a run of 10 consecutive overtime victories. In the finals against Wayne Gretzky and the Kings, Roy shrugged off an opening loss to win the next 3 games in overtime. After robbing the Kings with a save deep into overtime of Game 4, he looked up at a frustrated Los Angeles forward and gave him a wink. Roy finished his career with a 40-18 record in playoff overtimes, and set NHL playoff records for victories and shutouts, with 151 wins and 23 shutouts. He thrived on the pressure, with a temperament that was all fire and ice water. He was supremely competitive, confident, and cocky. He didn't mask his emotions. Never was that clearer than the December 1995 game when he became so enraged at not being pulled until after allowing a humiliating 9 goals, that he stormed past coach Mario Tremblay and declared it was his last game with the Habs. 4 days later, the Quebec icon was traded to the Colorado Avalanche in one of the biggest trades in Habs history, and 6 months later, he led the young Avs to their first Stanley Cup with more overtime heroics. In the 1996 Cup clinching game, Roy made 63 saves in a stirring triple overtime shutout, the longest in finals history, to sweep the Panthers. By the late 90s, Dominik Hasek was considered hockey's best goaltender. While Roy was the classic butterfly goalie, always in position to make a routine save, Hasek acrobatically flopped and flashed to make surreal saves. Hasek won 6 Vezina trophies to Roy's 3, and 2 Hart trophies to Roy's none. But by the time Hasek finally won his first Cup ring in 2002, Roy had already added his 4th. For St. Patrick, 2000 to 2001 was a season of revival. He began it by surpassing Terry Sawchuk's 30-year-old record of 447 victories, and he capped it by shutting down the defending champion Devils in the 6th and 7th games of the finals, allowing 1 total goal to win the Avs another cup and himself a record 3rd Conn Smythe trophy. When he retired 2 years later, still an all-star at 37, his longevity could have continued beyond his 1,029 games played. But he chose to leave on his own terms. Roy was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2006, his first year of eligibility. That's all for this look back at the career of Patrick Roy. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to support the channel.